Hello and welcome back to the Satoshi Society YouTube channel. My name is AJ, one of the co-hosts here, and today I just want to go through what's happened to Bitcoin. I'm sure that you are aware that we have seen another little crash in the Bitcoin and the crypto market. And we're also seeing that in the traditional markets as well. So I want to update you on what happened with the trade that I had open, and yeah, go through what we could expect next for Bitcoin and the traditional market. So jumping straight on into it then, just talking about quickly what happened to that trade that I had open. On Saturday, I did go live and I did tell you what I was doing with that trade. It did start to play out fairly nicely. I did say that I was going to go long once we broke towards the upside of this bull flag right here. That's exactly what I did. And then I told you that we were going to get some strong resistance at this golden pocket here. And it also did line up with that point of control as well. A few hours later, the point of control moved up and it did come in with confluence with that golden pocket as well. So we were finding it very tough to break above this level. And as you can see, we did get that major rejection. Now on Saturday, I did say that I was moving my stop loss up to the entry point so that if the price did come back down to the entry point, then the trade would close and I wouldn't lose anything. That's exactly what I did, and that's exactly what happened because this was the trade was already in profit, so I wasn't too bothered about that. We were coming into resistance, so we were either going to break above that resistance and see higher prices or get rejected and then most likely come back down and potentially back into this channel that we had here, and that's exactly what happened, and we absolutely tanked towards the downside. So my trade was stopped out at that break-even point, so no harm there. Maybe $4 to $6 on the fees. That's about it. But looking at sort of the bigger picture now, looking at what is happening, we are finding support as of right now. We are finding support on this previous swing low right here. So what I did was I took the Fibonacci retracement from this swing high back here to this swing low here. And you can see that we have major resistance here in perfect confluence with that golden pocket. What did we see from that point? We saw a rejection and we did see the price come down. I did first initially tell you that I did think the price would come back down to this swing low, but then I started to see some potential bullish signals and it was going well until we came into that golden pocket on the 30-minute time frame, and we saw a major rejection from that. After seeing a major rejection from that, of course, we've seen this big crash back down to this swing low. So what we can see is this is played out nicely. Sort of wish I kept that short open, but no biggie. We took the profits from that short. And yeah, now my next sort of thing that I'm looking out for is where can we open that next trade. So we need to wait for the price to settle a little bit, consolidate for a little bit, and then we can look at where the price could potentially go next. But looking at the bigger time frames, we're at major support again. We're below 19,000. We're at this major support level here on the daily chart. So if I get my pencil out here, as you can see, major support here. We haven't had a candle break below this level. And right now we are testing the break towards the downside. Now, we do still have 11 hours and 55 minutes. Almost 12 hours left of this daily candle. So there is a possibility that we could hold this, but there is also that possibility we could break it. So if we do break this major support, then what we are looking at here is a bigger sort of descending triangle. So what we can see here is we can see the descending trend line at the top, and then we have the horizontal support at the bottom. This is textbook descending triangle. You can see the resistance, multiple touches of that resistance at the top, multiple touches of the support at the bottom. So if we do get the break towards the downside, we could see the price tank even more than it already has, and we could potentially come down to that 12,000 target that is still in play from this bearish flag that you can see right here. It's still in play because we haven't broken above the top of the bearish flag. Now, if we do come down to those levels, for me, it's not a worry. For my portfolio, yes, it is a worry. But for me, I just see it as buying opportunities. When do I sell my car and go all in? I wouldn't suggest that. I wouldn't suggest going all in, of course. If we come down to those levels, There is still the possibility we could go lower. We don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't suggest selling your car. But yeah, when we get down to, if we get down to those levels, I am going to go quite heavily into crypto. I do have a nice cash reserve on the side to have the ability to buy up the dip if we do come down there. So I think it's always great to have a cash reserve on the side just to make the most of these dips. I'm always accumulating below. I've been accumulating below these $20,000 levels, but making sure I have that cash reserve just in case we do come down to 12,000 because that target is still there. Hello, Charlie. Nice to see you back. And yeah, what I want to show you is this next chart here. Now, this is the weekly chart. If you've watched this channel for a while now, you will know that I've gone through this multiple times. So I won't bore you with it. But basically, what we see is when we do break above these resistance levels or hold support at these support levels like this, we do tend to see the price move pretty quickly to the next major level. So if we were to break this major support at approximately 19,000, which is a previous high from 2017, there's a pretty high chance that we could come straight down to 12,000. And, that lines up perfectly with this bearish flag target that we have that is at 12,000 as well, taking it from the top of the flagpole to the bottom of the flagpole, taking it to the breakout point. It does give us that target of 12,000. So this is something that is back in play. Because we are at this major support level again. We are testing this major support level here on the weekly chart as well. So, of course, the 6 days, 12 hours left of this weekly candle. So there is a lot of time for the price to move. It gives the price a lot of time to either get back above the support or break below the support. Now, we have to be aware, we do have the Fed interest rate decision coming in 2 days and 6 hours. So we do just have to be aware of that. And when we do tend to see the Fed interest rate decision come out, we do tend to see the market crash. Pretty much every single time Jerome Powell speaks, we do see the market crash. Maybe a little pump, but then we do actually see the market crash afterwards. So it's not looking too good coming into it. Of course, we've got the decision of either the 75 basis point hike or the 100 basis point hike. So we'll have to see where we come in. Having 100 basis point, I know Ben has gone over this. Having 100 basis points for me is not a big problem because it just means that we can get in at those cheaper prices. And yeah, that's how I see it. Okay, my portfolio may take a hit. But of course, we can buy Bitcoin, we can buy any altcoins at these a lot cheaper prices, and that is sort of what we want to do, and wait for that bull market to come around, and then we can see the price push up. So if we do come down, all I'm going to be doing is dollar cost averaging. But I do think if we do break this major support that we are at on the weekly, 12,000 will come pretty quickly. I think it will because looking at this weekly chart, there is no support or resistance between this $12,000 level and this $19,000 level. Previous 2 times we've come straight up, straight back down, or we've just gone straight up and never tested this vicinity again. So I do think if we break this, a pretty quick move down to 12,000 will be something that we do see. Now, when I say pretty quick, obviously it's going to take a few weeks potentially to get down there, but as I mean pretty quickly, as in on the charts, as you can see, it was just straight move up. If we zoom in, you can see that we literally got no red candles. It came straight up here, tested to the dollar. They were all green candles. Then the next candle was a red candle. So I do think we will see it happen pretty quickly, as you can see back here as well. Came straight up, straight back down. So if we did break this level, I do think a pretty quick move down would be something that we do see. Now, what else is telling me that we could see this break towards the downside of this major support? Well, that's the S&P 500. We know that crypto is very correlated to the traditional markets. And as you can see, the traditional market, the S&P 500 is breaking this daily support level, this very strong daily support level here. As you can see, major support, major resistance, major support, and we are getting the break. So I do think if we do get the break towards the downside, we'll come back to sort of the $3,673 level, which is the swing low here, and it has acted as some supports back here as well after we got the break towards the upside, a little bit of resistance, got the break towards the upside and used it as some nice support. So this is the next level I'd be looking at the price coming down to if we were to break this daily support. Now, if we broke this, then we could see something very similar to that 2008 crash. So I've got it here somewhere. I think it's this one here. So yeah, I've showed this multiple times, but this is very similar to that 2008 crash. If this wants to load, there we go. So as you can see, rejection from the 200 MA down to the support, break of the support, we saw the crash. Exactly what we're seeing. That was in 2008, before that 2008 crash. This is exactly what we're seeing this year as well. The rejection from the 200 MA down to the support, rejection, a break of the support. We actually came and tested it this time and got a rejection. So this just confirms that this support, previous support, now resistance, is a very critical level that we need to be above to stay bullish. But if we're below, we're looking very bearish. So now we have these sort of shorter term levels right here. So we have this level here and this level here. If we do get the confirmed break towards the downside, which as of right now looks pretty likely as of today, then we will most likely come down to the $3,670 level approximately. If we break that, I think we will see much more pain, which will obviously feed into the crypto market. So we will see Bitcoin have that next leg down as well, potentially coming down to that $12,000 level if we do see that traditional market have that bigger correction as well. So we have to be very aware of that. DXY as well. DXY hasn't done much, just sitting just below that $110 level. If we do get above that and we do continue pushing up, traditional market is going to crash and the crypto market is going to crash as well. Ben went through that in yesterday's live, so make sure you watch that if you did miss that. He did go through that very well and told us how we could see the dollar actually continuing to increase because of certain things that are going on. So make sure you watch that to get a full understanding of why we could see this DXY increase in price. But yeah, if we do see the DXY increase in price, we are going to see that traditional market pull back, and we are going to see Bitcoin pull back even more as well. So we have to be very aware of that. Right now, on the shorter time frames, I'm just sitting back and waiting just for some consolidation. Something's give me an indication to get into a trade, which of course I'll bring that to you if there is any signs of getting into a trade. As of right now, I don't see anything. Just need to wait for that consolidation period because as you can see, we've had this big leg down, and we just need to give the market time to settle before we make any more actions. Otherwise, we're just gambling with no confirmations or confluence. Looking at Ethereum as well, of course, we've seen Ethereum have that pullback as well. It was struggling to get above this major resistance here, and we saw that rejection, pretty harsh pullback, if you ask me, and after the merge as well. As me and Ben were talking about, seeing the merge go fairly successfully and no major price movements as it happened is a good thing. I do think it is a very good thing. It's almost like it didn't happen. It just went flawlessly. So I think that was good. Obviously, we're seeing the price pullback. I don't think this is has anything to do with the merge. I just think, obviously Bitcoin's pulling back, traditional markets pulling back. So of course we are going to see the altcoins, Ethereum. We're going to see all that pullback as well. So be very aware of that. So we are breaking major support levels. It's not confirmed yet on the Bitcoin chart. Neither is it confirmed on the S&P 500, but it looks as though we could see that break towards the downside today if we do continue to see this price action towards the downside. Anything in the chat? Buying alts all the way down. Yeah, for me, I'm not buying alts just yet because if we do see Bitcoin and the traditional market pull back, of course, we're going to see those altcoins pull back much harder. We're going to see a much bigger pullback for those altcoins. So I would be waiting. Personally, I'm just waiting to see if we do come down to that $12,000 level. And then if we can sort of get some confirmation that we're going to hold that as support, then that's when I'll start getting into those altcoins. Because as you can see, this next $12,000 level, it is major support because it's been major resistance previously. As you can see right here, so many touches along this level, and it took us a very long time to get above this level. So many major rejections from this level before we could get above it. So that's why I do think if we did come down to this level that we would hold that as support. Yes, I do think maybe a wick down to 10,000 is something possible. Yes, but I think a candle, we would hold this candle wise. I don't think we would get a candle break below this major support, and that's where I would be sort of scaling into a fairly big long position on Bitcoin if we did get that confirmed bounce off of the support level, because as you can see, it's major support. So I wouldn't expect the price to break below it. If we did get if the price did break below this, then we could see a lot a lot more pain for Bitcoin. So yeah, I don't see that happening. I could see the price coming down to 12,000, but I don't see it getting a candle break below that. So that is very major support, and we do just have to take that into consideration as well. So yeah, I think that's all. That's all I've got for you. Oi, me still bearish? Yeah, I remember you saying you closed that long position, and you thought it was looking pretty bearish, and it was looking bullish for a minute for me. But obviously we came into that major resistance up here, and we just couldn't get above it. That's why I moved my stop loss to the entry point, because we did have major resistance here. Either the price was going to break above it, and we saw higher prices, came up to the price target, or we were going to get a rejection and come down to the entry point, and I would have got stopped out, and that's what happened. So no, not bothered by that at all. Do you think ETH will bleed and make new lows and drag alts? Yes, if we do see the support broken on the traditional market and Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin's a bit of a driver of the market. So if we do see Bitcoin break, then of course Ethereum is going to see new lows as well. I do think, of course, there is this major support at 1,000. So if we did break that, then yes, we would. But yeah, I only think that we could see ETH make new lows if we did see Bitcoin come down to 12,000. And a confirmation for that for me would be a candle break below this $19,000 major support here. So potentially. The next major support level for Ethereum is actually at $1,000, because we had a shorter term support level. If I just get this tool out here, we did have a support level which we did actually break at $1,366. As you can see, support here and a bit of resistance before the breakup, and you can see we've broken that. So the next levels that I would be looking at is this range that we had down here. So the next range, this previous range here, sorry, is where I would be looking for the price to come down to. So there'll be a bit of support of $1,251, because it's been major resistance previously. But if we break that, then the likelihood of it is we are going to come down to $1,000 for Ethereum, and obviously altcoins will bleed a lot more if we do come down there as well. So that is what I expect to see. Only if, though, the traditional market breaks that major support, and then that feeds into the crypto market, and Bitcoin breaks this major support as well. Obviously, if Bitcoin holds this and we see a bounce, we could see Ethereum find support as well. But right now, it doesn't look likely, especially with the Fed meeting as well coming in 2 days and 6 hours after we hear Jerome Powell speak. We do tend to see the market crash. It's happened a lot, so I would not be surprised if we did see the market crash after he speaks as well. So yeah, be very aware of that, and yeah, it's not looking too good for me at all. Do you think the $17,600 support will test or free fall to 12,000? So, of course, looking at this chart here, looking at the bigger time frame, I do think we would just free fall to 12,000 on the larger time frame, though. Of course, this is the weekly. On the lower time frames, yes, we're going to find support, but looking at this on the bigger time frame, the bigger the time frame, the stronger sort of the analysis is. That's what we tend to see, and that's what sort of happens. We do tend to see these bigger time frames they are a lot stronger with the technical analysis than the smaller time frame. So yes, if we did break this, I would expect to see a free fall down to 12,000. Obviously on the weekly chart though. So yes, on the daily, we are going to the daily, the 12-hour, the 4-hour. We are going to come to those support levels, but I would expect those support levels to break, because just looking at this on the weekly, there is absolutely no support between the 12,000 and the 19,000. There's nothing to hold that price up. So I would just expect it to free fall down to 12,000. Of course, it's going to take maybe a number of weeks. As you can see, to get from 12,000 to 19,000, it took 2 weeks. But back here, fast forwarding a little bit, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took 5 weeks to get up. So, it could take 2 weeks to get down there. It could take 5 weeks. It could take 10 weeks to get down there. We don't know how long it's going to take to get down there. But on the weekly chart, I would expect it to look like a pretty quick move down. So just red candles coming down. But of course, on the shorter time frames, we are going to see support. So support at $17,600. Maybe that gets held for a while on the shorter time frames, but I would expect it to break towards the downside if we were to break this major support here on the daily support. On the weekly support, on the weekly chart, if we were to break this. So yeah, just looking at this, very, very simple TA. But when we break a major level on this weekly chart, we come straight up to the next level. We've found support here, price discovery, okay? When we've established the support and we've established the resistance, what happens? We just range between that. No funny business in the middle. No finding support anywhere in the middle. We literally just come straight back up to the previous high here. And then what happens when we get rejected from there? We come straight back down to the previous support back here, a break of that, and we come straight back down to the next major support, which was resistance back here. So I would expect a breakdown. We are most likely going to come down to 12,000 if we do break this. So not looking too good. If interest rate hikes to 100 BPS, then it is a direct entry into 12,000 in one candle. Potentially. I wouldn't expect it to drop that dramatically. I do think it would take at least 2 weeks to get down there. I do think if it does come in at 100 basis points, then yes, we will see a pretty big move down, maybe to 15,000, maybe to 14,000. But yeah, I don't think it would happen that quick. But yeah, I do think if we do come in at 100 basis points, of course, we're going to see the markets absolutely tank. All the markets absolutely tank. So, yeah, be aware of that. Looking at it now, it is roughly 80 to 20. So right now, it's still looking likely we are going to get that 75 basis points, which I still think we would see the market crash if we saw that as well. So I do think whenever Jerome Powell speaks, we do tend to see the market crash. So that's what I would expect. Thank you for the updates. That's you're more than welcome. I do enjoy bringing this content to you, and thank you for sharing it on Twitter. If you could smash the like button on this video, I would really appreciate that as well. It does really help the channel out. It does really help me out, and yeah, I can continue to bring this content to you as well. I can continue to bring the TA that I have as well to you. So yeah, I think that's all I've got for you today, and yeah. Ben will be back with us tomorrow. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, and I will speak to you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, guys.